Thank you, producer Brandon. This is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting, about 50 miles south of Nashville, 25 miles south of Murfreesboro. In a lovely, and today and hopefully tomorrow, sunny rolling green hills of southern Middle Tennessee. It's that time of the month where we have the Shelbyville-Bedford partnership come in and talk about the being the economic engine here, economic development, workforce development, tourism, and Chamber of Commerce here in Shelbyville and Bedford County. And we have their Vice President, Kelly Northen, here to talk about what's going on. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Scott. Thanks so much for having me, as always.
Always good to have you. You always have a ton of information about things that are going on in economic development here in our community to make it a better place to live and work. We appreciate everything you and the staff do at the partnership to make that happen. What do you want to start talking about today?
You know, we've had a couple different visits, maybe unplanned visits to WLIJ over the last month. I know that our last regularly scheduled program, we had Ryan French, who is the Executive Director of South Central Tennessee Tourism.
Covers like 13 counties or something, doesn't he?
And we had a really great conversation about tourism. A couple weeks ago, I had the pleasure of being Mayor Graham's guest on his WLIJ program, and am very thankful to have had an opportunity to talk about the roadmap that the Shelbyville-Bedford Partnership is putting together for economic development.
You know, and you got to have a roadmap, right? Yes. Otherwise, you just end up flailing here and doing a little bit there. But, I mean, I've had a chance to read that document. It's a very comprehensive 15-page, single-spaced document that I would call it both strategic and tactical because there's action items in it to do. And, of course, you and the mayor discussed that somewhat at that last program, roughly 3 or 4 weeks ago, whenever that was. But and I know at some point when it's not finalized yet by the board of directors, but once it's finalized, you guys are going to publish that on the website, right?
That's right. And, you know, one of the things that I appreciate about our organization, our board of directors, is how intentional everyone is about pushing Bedford County in the right direction that leads to prosperity and growth.
Extremely talented board of directors, and I feel very humbled every time I go to a meeting.
Me too.
Okay, I'm in here with this crew.
Me too.
But in a group that just really likes giving back to the community because they don't get paid a dime.
That's right.
for doing all this. But this comprehensive document, and one of the things that impresses me about it is the implementation of it involves several committees that are made up, and it's like it's a ton of good people from our community that from all sectors of our community that are going to participate and have agreed to participate on these committees to move forward and provide input and basically be stakeholders.
Yeah, and one of the things that was really important to us was to ensure that the people who had skin in the game had a seat at the table and a voice in the direction of the plan. So that's why putting together those committees were so critically important to moving this plan along. And so I think when we were on the show with Mayor Graham, we mentioned that there is an economic development committee, there is a growth and infrastructure planning committee. There's
critical.
Yes,
infrastructure. I mean, everybody goes, gee, it'd be nice to have all this, but you got to have infrastructure.
And infrastructure is not just pipes in the ground. It's not just roadways. It's broadband. Right. We want to make sure that our residents are connected so they can work or go to school remotely. So infrastructure covers a whole host of different things. We also have a tourism advisory committee. There is an advisory.
They're already up and running, aren't they?
They are. Yes, they sure are. And moving the ball forward on our goals and strategies. And we actually have another meeting with that group tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. Yes. All right. We appreciate. We got a couple of co-chairs on that.
Well, every committee has co-chairs that are that have relevant experience in whatever that committee is. So, for example, the Tourism Advisory Committee is co-chaired by Warren Wells, who's the CEO of the Celebration, and Christy Womack.
Very experienced at tourism.
Yes, and Christy Womack, who's a co-publisher at Deborah, which publishes the Walking Horse Report.
Absolutely, two great folks. We appreciate them stepping up and doing that and helping guide that crew.
Well, I think it's important to note that one of the things that the partnership does really, really well is facilitation, right? So we bring the right people. It's
kind of the mission, right?
Yes, we bring the right people with the knowledge and skill set. We bring them together to spur progress in this community.
And you also have 2 other committees.
We do. We have an advisory committee for the Chamber of Commerce, and then an advisory committee for Leadership Bedford.
As I always say, one of my favorite programs.
Great program.
Growing future leaders here in Bedford. Well, I mean, there's a high school program for that, obviously, where we grow future leaders, which is competitive to get into.
Yes, it is.
And then there's obviously the adult classes as well. I was just really glad, on a side note, Kelly, where I learned the other day that the Leadership Bedford alumni, that program's been around for over a quarter of a century, 25 years.
Since the mid-90s?
Yeah, so, 30 years, or whatever it's been, and 35 years, whatever. But the bottom line is there's a lot of good folks out there, and I know that they're going to have an alumni association. What a powerful tool to be able to utilize here and get input from.
Well, and I think I was equally excited when I learned about the Leadership Bedford Alumni Association that was forming, because what that group can do is really pour into the current program with new ideas, relevant connections. So many of the folks that participate in Leadership Bedford are looking for opportunities to serve, right?
And folks that go to that, and I would encourage adults especially, that I know they already have their class for next year, but there's folks from local government,
yes.
There's folks from the business sector, there's folks from nonprofits. I mean, it's a good cross-section of our community,
yes.
And they get exposed. I know every time I talk to a graduate, they go, I didn't realize how much we had going on here in Bedford County and I've been here for 30 years.
That's the thing that I find the most interesting too, is you bring together a group of Leadership Bedford class participants and who've lived here most of their lives, or if not all of their lives, and they didn't realize that we had this in town, or they didn't realize that this was happening in town. So, I mean, it's really an eye-opening experience.
And it's a good networking opportunity, too, especially for the adults,
yes.
And a good resume builder for our high school students to go through that.
Without a doubt.
Because those are the folks that hopefully will come back to our community, whatever they do post-graduate from high school, and help lead us into the future,
yes.
Make it a better place to live and work. So as far as a business plan, and we're kind of wrapping up what the committees are on that, what's the move forward on that?
Yeah, so, the move forward is to really lean on these committees to help us refine the strategies and the tactics, so the goals and the actions within the plan. We mentioned stakeholder engagement, and it is important for the people who live, work, and play in this community to have some skin in the game and a voice in the direction that we move forward in, right? So our next steps is to take the committees and utilize their knowledge and expertise to help us really refine the goals and actions in the plan. Once that's done, the plan will be finalized and completed, and then we'll have a copy of it on our website for the entirety of the community to view and better understand the direction that we're trying to take.
And that synergistic effect of having those committees, because you just don't want like a little small group of elected officials trying to run things. You don't want a little small board of directors trying to run things. You want to bring in people from all sectors of
yes.
the community. And to me, that's the strength of this plan, and doing that and getting people from all sectors of the community involved and having input and buy-in to what's going on.
Yes, completely agree. And, some of the overall objectives of the plan are to continue to stimulate business growth in the community, to attract new industries and support small business. We want to make sure we've got a good roadmap for improving the skills of the local workforce, to continue to meet the needs of the employers in this community through different training programs and education initiatives and partnerships within workforce development. We also, one of the things that I think is amazing about Bedford County and that most folks don't really realize is we're a tourist destination. We are a tourist destination.
Well, Ryan French, if I remember correctly, the gentleman you mentioned
yes.
earlier, who's the CEO for the association here in Southern Middle Tennessee, 13 counties, basically said Bedford County has the most potential of
yes.
all. I mean, he's on the record saying
yes.
of all counties.
That's right.
Why do we like tourism? Sales tax.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And it stimulates, and people spend money in our local retail businesses.
And so one of the things that this plan is outlining the steps to do is to increase the number of visitors in Shelbyville and Bedford County through different marketing initiatives, events, and the development of tourism-related infrastructure. So when we talk about tourism-related infrastructure, we're talking about hotels.
Hotel. As a matter of fact, Hampton Inn.
Hampton Inn, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I recall a while back, and I know Scott Collins talked about that, and I'm glad he did on his radio show last week. But I remember the partnership hosted with the city and several other folks when they first, that company decided to come to town, because it'll be interesting to see. We appreciate Hampton Inn coming here, and I know we certainly, the partnership had a hand in helping facilitate that, but it did take a team effort. It was a bunch of folks.
Absolutely. You know, everything we do is a team effort.
Exactly. I mean, it's one group can't claim credit,
That's
right? I mean, it truly is a team effort.
Yes.
If you're doing economic development, if you're doing it correctly, you should have at least 4 or 5 different folks being able to claim credit.
4, 5, 10, 12, the community as a whole, Scott.
Working together, better together.
That's right.
So to speak.
Right.
So what else about the business plan? We got all the committees, and I know you're executing. I know we got a couple of committees that have yet to meet yet, but they ought to be meeting in the near future.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone is starting to move in terms of the committees. And, if we could dive a little bit further into some of the objectives, when we talk about attracting new business or increasing the support that existing business has, we really want to be able to stimulate entrepreneurial activity by providing resources and support for small businesses. So we do that through the Chamber of Commerce. We've talked many, many times about the robust suite of programming that the Chamber of Commerce offers to the small business community. Right. And I would encourage any of our listeners this morning, if you own a business and you're not involved in the Chamber of Commerce, please, please, please contact Dana Rodriguez and check us out.
I think it was a couple of weeks ago, there was the advisory group for the Chamber met. I just happened to be at partnership office. I just sat in. I'm not part of that group, but I was impressed with how the committee members there were actually coming up with ways to even increase more of the benefits of being part of the chamber.
Sure.
I mean, they were brainstorming ideas on what to do and how to make it better. So it's a dynamic thing. It's not a stagnant, this is what we do, this is done, but it's always trying to improve.
Well, and that's a great example of how these committees are gonna work to push this plan forward, right? So that committee has representation from the banking industry, the small business startup. We've got a member
retail,
of the small business retail startup. We have a member on that committee that's within the healthcare industry. So
workforce development with
TCAT. So you see that there is a wide variety of folks that are bringing their ideas to the table.
I got excited just listening to them. And I was just an observer.
And we work through with those groups to execute on those ideas because they're telling us what it is that they need. Right? We're not the experts in the room. We don't know it all, but we definitely know who to call. And we've got to be able to lean on and leverage the input from the community that's taking advantage of what it is that we're providing. So, and that's why it's so important for the stakeholders to have a voice in what we do.
And I'm looking forward to those added benefits they talked about coming out and be part of the game plan for the Chamber of Commerce. And right now I think it's like what a great tool, what a great powerful tool, because I know that like when you did the business plan with Mayor Graham, I think you were able to send that program to like 450 businesses, individuals out there that really gets what's actually happening out there. I mean, what's really going on, and being able to tell the story. And then if they want to, they can come back to you and ask more questions.
Well, and we want the business community, we want the broader community to have a good understanding of what it is that we're trying to accomplish, because who knows, let's say chamber member over here hears about what it is that we're trying to accomplish, and they have something that they can bring to the table, or they're really passionate about it and they want to participate. So, and we've got to be able to share that information with the business community.
And that's a great way and a powerful tool to be able to do that. Folks, we're talking to Kelly North, the Vice President of the Shelbyville-Bedford Partnership here in Shelbyville and Bedford County. We're going to take I almost said 60-second break. We're going to take a 2-minute break because we got a whole bunch of sponsors for these shows now, and we do appreciate them. We'll be right back.
At United Communications, we're more than just fast internet. We're your local connection to reliability and service you can count on right here in Bedford County. With fiber fast speeds and a team in your community, we keep you connected when it matters most. No long hold times, no out-of-town providers, just real service from people who care. Call 931-740-1800 or visit united.net. Thousands of Tennesseans already trust United. United Communications. Fast, local, internet.
Here at Farm Credit Mid-America, we want to get to know you and your story. We are a member-owned cooperative offering a range of loan products. So when you find that incredible land tract that you've been longing for that fits into your story, give me a call, Jonathan Boyce, at 931-212-0101, or come by and see me, 1908 Madison Street, here in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply. Farm Credit Mid-America is an equal opportunity lender.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool, and triple-stranded pocketed coils give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company, 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662.
Thanks to those sponsors of these 11 government-related talk shows every month. We appreciate them very, very much. We're talking today to Kelly North, the Vice President of the Shelbyville-Bedford Partnership here in Shelbyville-Bedford County. Kelly, when we went to the break, we were kind of doing an overview on what the importance of the 15-page business plan and kind of the roadmap on what to do, and the importance of the committees and getting buy-in from, during the break, I was looking through all the committee membership and stuff. That's from all sectors in our community. We do appreciate, I want to say right now, we do appreciate those people, those local business, government, nonprofit folks participating in these groups, because I know they're all busy people, but they want to, in order to get buy-in, we need those folks involved, and we need their ideas, because they're all successful people here in the community for many years. So that we just want to say shout out to them and thank them for participating in the Shelbyville-Bedford Partnership business plan.
Absolutely.
In the community. So,
yes. Absolutely.
What else we want to talk about, Kelly?
Well, I think, we talk about having this business plan, but I think it's important to note why. Why is it?
Okay, why? Okay, why?
Why is it important?
I'm a sophisticated talk show host. Why?
Why is it important to have a roadmap? I've been in Bedford County for 10 years now. It'll be 10 years in February.
I remember when you started. You were working at the Chamber of Commerce 10 years ago. I remember that.
And the potential that this community has. And, we hear it all the time. We've got people moving in from all areas of the state and the country.
It's our time.
You're right. It is our time. And so there's so much potential for growth in this community, but it's important to build something that supports smart growth, and it's important to
critical.
It's critical.
Smart growth is critical.
You have to
just
be
not unfettered growth,
That's
but
right.
smart growth, right?
You have to be intentional, and you want to build something. When we're talking about building a community, you want to build something that's sustainable. I hear folks say all the time that, my kids are getting ready to graduate from high school. They're going to go off to college, but I really, really want them to come back to Bedford County and set their roots down here. And in order for that to happen, we've got to have certain things in place in this community to draw them back in. So we've got to have good housing, and we've got to have, retail establishments and restaurants and things for them to do, and a great school system, and I see all of these things happening in this community, and a plan like this supports that for the long term.
I couldn't have said it better, because when you said the key word there that I resonated on me was sustainability.
Yes.
Because we're not looking for flash in the pan stuff. Right. We're not looking for, look at us. Mm-hmm. We're looking at something that's got depth to it, something that's sustainable over time to make this community a better place to live and work, and that our children will stay here. I know you got a son that works in this community.
I do. Yes, I sure do.
So he's sticking around.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah. So I mean, practice what you preach, right? So, but
you've got to take certain steps as a community. When we're talking about any community, not just Bedford County, but any community.
Right.
When you're building your community, there's certain things that you've got to have good in place to draw people in and keep people here. So you've got to have good livable wage jobs. And going back to retail establishments, look at how our square has exploded over the last 5 years.
I mean, I love going up to the square here and just walking around the square, because I know when I retired from the military and moved back here, I went, man, it was kind of half of it was about half of it was blighted.
Yes.
And the move to take the court system and put it out north of town was a very good strategic move, because that opened up all those parking spaces that were taken up by people going to court, and allowed, and of course we had a lot of folks that invest a lot of their own hard-earned money into businesses up on the square, so we encourage folks to go up there and shop. But what a great, vibrant square we have now.
It's amazing. We get compliments. I hear compliments on the square all of the time, from retail establishments to restaurants. It is the place to be, and I'm very fortunate to have my office on the square and to see the sheer amount of people that are just walking. And it doesn't matter. It does not have to be a Friday afternoon after work. It could be midday on a Wednesday.
You actually have to be a little bit careful crossing the road up there, because there's a lot of traffic going to which is good, going to those businesses. But I remember talking to a couple not too long ago, to a couple of businesses up there, and this is what I wanted to hear. We're getting people from Murfreesboro coming down here and shopping or using our restaurants or whatever. I'm like, okay, we reversed that trend, or these folks did, the ones that came in and invested that kind of money. So that's what we want to hear, that folks are coming to us from up north there and spending their money and raising sales tax, and then going back to Murfreesboro to live at night and have their kids educated. So that was music to my ears when a couple of businesses told me that.
So, we talk about sustainability, and we talk about having a roadmap, and, all the things that work synergistically together. You think about the work that Bedford County Schools is doing to build their curriculum, and you think about technical education.
I was going to say that CTE program has grown. Dr. Garrett and her folks done a great job with that.
Yes.
Laura Saxton and her crew. I mean, really getting that, because as we know, the majority of our graduates, which is fine, don't go to college, but they have an opportunity to get some skill sets and make some good wages.
That's right. And the work that Dr. Garrett and her team are doing to build those pathways to meaningful employment feeds right into our desire to see our students, when they graduate high school, set down their roots right here, because it's putting them on a pathway to a livable wage. So all of these things are working together to create prosperity in this community, and the roadmap is just critically important to give us a driver, just to help us stay focused and in line with where we're trying to go.
Well, it gives you a sense of direction.
Yes, sense of direction.
And doesn't mean you can't deviate.
Sure.
Doesn't mean you can't modify.
That's right.
But you got to have, otherwise you just flail around.
Yes.
And I've seen that way too many times, where people are just doing a little bit here, doing a little bit there, versus having a really organized, and this is a very well written plan. And I know who wrote it.
Yes.
And they know what they're talking about.
Yes.
So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about especially like the next 90 days, kind of do a check-in maybe in the next 90 days on where we're at on these things.
We should be close to finalized within the next 90 days. Getting all of the input from the stakeholders that are coming to the table. We should have a final plan, or very close to a final plan, to put out into the broad-based community in the next 90 days.
Outstanding. What else you want to talk about, Kelly?
I would be remiss if I didn't say give a thank you to the Bedford County Commission.
Absolutely.
Recently.
Great bunch out there.
Great bunch within our commission. We certainly appreciate the support that they have extended to the partnership. Overwhelming support to the partnership over the last several years, and including this year. So we're very appreciative of our local elected officials and their willingness to work.
That's so critical too, to have government support, because when folks are looking to bring their businesses here, my dad used to locate plants for Johnston's, and I remember him talking about how they would look at local newspapers. They would look at local things to see what's the business climate, because, it's one thing, and you want to deal with the bankers or other people as well, but you want to see, is this a community that really wants to have true quality economic development? And I think the Commission and funding the Bedford Partnership, Shelbyville-Bedford Partnership, really, really reinforced to those folks that may be thinking about coming here, hey, you got folks that are willing to work with you here and bring us a quality product, and we're going to work with you here. So we do appreciate those folks being able to do that.
We're just when I sit here this morning, I have a moment filled with gratitude. Because we have the support of the Commission and we have strong support from the business community as well.
And that's something that I'm glad you brought that up, Kelly, because when you go through that political process every year, everybody does, you started getting a lot of letters into the partnership. And these were from all sectors in our community, letters of support requesting, and they wanted to make sure the county provide continued funding for the partnership. I mean, that's the true telltale sign is, do you have support in the community? And I know you've got a list here of all the business. I know you basically had to stop, say, don't send us any more letters because we're through the process now. But I'm looking at this list, and it's from large businesses, from small businesses, from basically nonprofits. You got Curl Construction here sent in a strong letter. Deborah sent a strong letter, a big employer on the east side of town. Elaborate Images, which is a small business, but still a big supporter, a really strong letter from them about support. Farm Credit Mid-America out on the, matter of fact, one of the sponsors of this show, as a matter of fact, who really see the value in what's going on. Appreciate that. First Community Bank, First National Bank, so we appreciate from the banking community the letters of support coming in there. Jones Logistics, one of the larger trucking companies in this area, sent a really good letter. And one of our folks that have been here forever, Musgrave Pencil, his name is Scott Johnson. It's a different Scott Johnson, okay? What a great guy. What a great company with a long history here.
Long history.
Of employing folks here. Near Screen Distillery, of course, sent in a strong letter. Newell Brands, one of the larger companies we have here, that's a huge company, sent in a very strong letter of support for county funding for the partnership. Of course, the South Central Tennessee Tourism Association, because they know what's going on here, the potential work you guys are doing. The Celebration, obviously, sent a strong letter. And Vanderbilt-Bedford Hospital, we appreciate them kicking in and sending a letter there. And last but not least, the number 2 guy in the House of Representatives for the state of Tennessee, Pat Marsh, sent a very strong letter in support for funding. And, Kelly, these are the folks that create jobs here. These are the folks that invest millions of dollars in our community. These are the people paying huge, quite frankly, property taxes because of the investment they've made here. So that says a lot, I think, when you get that many, and of course I know you had to put a stop to the letters, that many coming out and saying, we support the partnership, appreciate what they're doing, we know they're heading in the right direction, they're doing the right thing for this community, and to put it in writing, and to have the courage to do that. So we appreciate them doing that. So I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted an opportunity to say that. So thanks to all those organizations and businesses that did that.
It's just a continued example of everybody working together on the same page, trying to move Bedford County forward.
Exactly. We're almost out of time. What else you want to talk about?
Again, just thankful for all the support that we have in the community. I am really excited, Scott. I am really excited about the future of Bedford County, the direction that we're headed, and to see everyone working together to move the ball forward. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. It's our time.
I take that quote from Remember the Titans, which is a movie about the high school where my grandkids will attend in Alexandria, Virginia. They're zoned for that school, but Denzel Washington's talking to the team, and he says something to the effect of, it's our time. It's our time. And I've said this in many public speeches I made over the last couple of years. I said, in this community, it's our time.
Yes.
We just have to do it with smart growth. We need to do it working together, and we're in that direction. And obviously, there's a lot of folks that are on board to be able to do that. So I'm truly excited about the community and what's going on, and the good things that are here to come. And we appreciate everybody that you and the folks at the Shelbyville-Bedford Partnership do to make this place a better place to live and work every day. I know you guys work hard, a lot of stuff going on every day, doing some heavy lifting. So thank you all for what you guys do to do that here in the community. I know you're willing to answer anybody's questions.
Anytime.
They can email you or give you a call at the Shelbyville-Bedford Partnership, or stop by, because you guys do a great job up there, and we appreciate everything you and staff are doing. Anything else, Kelly, before we go off the air?
I think that's it. I think we covered it.
All right, then. We do appreciate all the sponsors for these shows. They had commercial a while ago, but United Communications, fast local internet, Farm Credit, Mid-America, those fine folks out there on the east side of town, securing the future of rural communities and agriculture. Dr. Dale Hasty, Family Eye Care, because your eyes are a precious thing. And, of course, everybody knows Kincaid Service Company. The service has been their middle name since 1934. So there's a great small business there. All of them are. We appreciate them sponsoring. There's 11 government-related talk shows every month. You know, folks, if you want to really hear what's going on and know what the facts are, you just tune in right here, and you can hear it straight from the horse's mouth, is what we like to say here in horse country. Folks, this is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting. Until next time.
At United Communications, we're more than just fast internet. We're your local connection to reliability and service you can count on, right here in Bedford County. With fiber fast speeds and a team in your community, we keep you connected when it matters most. No long hold times, no out-of-town providers, just real service from people who care. Call 931-740-1800 or visit united.net. Thousands of Tennesseans already trust United. United Communications. Fast, local, internet.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
Here at Farm Credit Mid-America, we want to get to know you and your story. We are a member-owned cooperative offering a range of loan products. So when you find that incredible land tract that you've been longing for that fits into your story, give me a call, Jonathan Boyce, at 931-212-0101, or come by and see me, 1908 Madison Street, here in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply. Farm Credit Mid-America is an equal opportunity lender.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool, and triple-stranded pocketed coils that give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company, 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station, 931-684-5662.